Re-Zero Side Stories, Thinking of You on the Night Before the Decisive Battle, Chapter 1.
Rem watched the preparations proceeding solemnly, her heart swelling with quiet excitement. So many people have agreed to Subaru's idea. Below, a large crowd had gathered in the gardens of the Carsten mansion in the noble district of the royal capital, raising morale for tomorrow's operation. Rem, too, was desperately trying not to reveal her true feelings. Right now, she couldn't possibly show her face near Subaru. If she saw Subaru's face now, she likely wouldn't be able to hold back her tears as they overflowed. She didn't want to show him that side of herself. Currently, Rem was in the guest room of the Carsten mansion, and she was assigned the task of packing for Subaru and herself. The group will leave the mansion tomorrow morning, heading to the Lifehouse Highway, aiming for the Great Tree of Flugel. Their goal was to defeat the witch beast of the mist, known as the White Whale, and the person who played a key role in planning the operation was none other than Subaru. After falling out with Emilia, Subaru had been extremely haggard for a while, until a certain daytime scene. The moment he asked Rem to run away together, everything changed. But from the moment Subaru during that scene in the daytime suggested to Rem that they run away together, everything changed. Even now, she still thought that way. If I had taken his hand and ran away with him. What then? What would have happened if she had run away with him, as she wished? In that case, there might have been a path to happiness, just like the future Rem had envisioned. But surely, Subaru then wouldn't have been smiling as he is now, and Rem wouldn't have been able to smile either. That's why Rem doesn't regret her choice, she just wants to be allowed to dream a little. Since he had desired me so passionately, I think Rem deserves at least that much. With those words spilling out, Rem stuffed her belongings into her packing bag and slammed it shut with all her might.
Chapter 2.
Really, Rem-san, you're such a good-hearted girl. Rem had just finished packing and was heading to the dining room when she heard a gentle voice. When she turned towards the voice, she saw a girl with beautiful lavender hair smiling at her. Lady Anastasia, running all over the capital for Natsuki-kun, and now helping out with preparations? You're such a hard worker, I'm impressed. With her hand on her cheek, the girl Anastasia expressed her admiration with a gracious tone. Receiving this praise, Rem distributed the tea she had prepared to the people around her, providing them with a moment of respite. When you overwork yourself, your efficiency drops. Rem's sister often says that too. Oh, you have a sister? She must be just like you, a diligent worker. No, Rem can't even compare to her sister. Rem's sister is truly amazing. Is that so? Well, I'd really like to meet her someday. As Rem thought about her sister, Ram, a smile formed on her lips, and Anastasia made a meaningful remark. The emotion that flickered in her light blue eyes felt almost like an appraisal to Rem. I'm happy to be appreciated. But neither I nor my sister would ever change where our loyalty lies. Ha, thanks for the advice. But you know, persuading such a stubborn girl is where my skills really shine. It's more rewarding for me when someone starts off reluctant. Rather than being offended by the disrespectful remark, Anastasia looked at Rem with an even more delighted gaze. I'm confident in my ability to read people. That's why I'm quite hurt when it comes to Natsuki-kun. Because of Subaru-kun, he didn't seem like the type to set such a big thing in motion. It only took a few days for me to realize that my judgment was wrong. I lost a bit of confidence. Touching the scarf around her neck, Anastasia let out an exaggerated sigh. Her ever-changing expressions and rich emotional display created a friendly atmosphere enough to make one wonder if she really was a candidate in the royal selection. It was precisely because Rem knew Emilia, Anastasia, and Crush that she had such an impression. But at the same time, she felt a sense of pride. Subaru-kun is not the kind of shallow guy that can be seen through so easily. You're completely smitten, aren't you? Yes, I'm completely smitten. Smiling, Rem responded to Anastasia without hesitation. Then, as she handed her a cup of tea, she added, please continue to look forward to Subaru-kun's developments. I'm sure Subaru-kun will continue to achieve many things that will amaze you, Lady Anastasia. Rem-san, do you remember what you said? As she watched the hot tea being poured, Anastasia slightly narrowed her eyes and asked this question. Rem tilted her head in response, and Anastasia wet her lips with tea before continuing. You said your loyalty wouldn't change. So who is your master, Rem-san? To that question, Rem gently placed a finger over her lips and replied, of course, it's Rem's wonderful hero.
Chapter 3.
Is that you, Lady Crush? Rem, calming her inner excitement to some extent and deciding it was about time to return to Subaru, Rem spotted a figure standing on the mansion's balcony. Crush and walked over to her. The handsome woman, dressed in a masculine style, let her long green hair sway in the wind as she gazed down at the people working in the garden. Am I interrupting your rest? No, I don't mind. I just came up for a bit of cool air. In response to Rem's question, Crush firmly shook her head. Rem knew that since the negotiations with Subaru earlier in the evening, Crush had been moving around tirelessly, giving instructions and calling out to others. Over the past few days, Rem had come to understand Crush's strong sense of responsibility, her dedication to her mission, her honest nature, and her unwavering conviction. After all, during her stay at the Carston mansion, Rem had joined Crush every night at the negotiation table for the royal selection. Those nightly meetings had been almost like a confirmation of the powerlessness of her words and position. However, things really turned out just as you said. Yes. However, I apologize once again for the repeated discourtesy. As Crush spoke with a slight smile on her lips, Rem picked up the hem of her skirt and offered a graceful curtsy. It was a gesture reflecting the apology for the rudeness she had shown over the past few days, as well as a reflection on her past words and actions. However, upon receiving the apology, Crush began with no, and continued, there is no need to apologize. Rather, it is I who should be ashamed of my short-sightedness. Thanks to my divine protection, I have more information to judge by than others. I was deceived by that, and now I've realized it. Rem had no words to respond to the noblewoman's statement. She had already spoken too many words for a mere servant. The fact that Crush did not reproach her for it was due to her generosity. Subaru would definitely stand up again. She simply continued to repeat those words. And Crush had simply come to acknowledge it. That said, everything is still unresolved, so there is no time to catch a breather. Tomorrow, when the white whale appears at the great tree of Flugel, we will finally take the stage. Until then, let's hold off on drawing any conclusions. Yes, you're right. You don't seem to be worried about anything, are you? Suddenly, Crush narrowed her amber eyes and spoke to Rem. Though the question lacked a subject, it was clear what kind of worries she was asking about. So, Rem received the most important thing just a few mornings ago. So, there's nothing I'm afraid of. Natsuki Subaru is truly blessed. No, as Rem spoke while smiling, Crush also relaxed her lips. However, Rem shook her head, interrupting Crush's admiration. Then, turning to Crush, who held her breath, she spoke. The fortunate one is Rem, to get to be close to her amazing sister and the greatest hero. She was truly blessed. Rem believed that from the bottom of her heart.
Chapter 4.
Truly, many people have come to recognize Subaru. Subaru Dono, thank you. The hero of the past, sung about by bards, expressed his thanks. Thanks to you, our long-cherished wish will be fulfilled. There is nothing that makes us happier. Those who fought against a tragic fate tapped Subaru on the shoulder. What's up, bro? That's a determined looking face you got there. A battle-hardened mercenary looked at Subaru's profile and laughed like that. Those who would fight alongside him, those whose cooperation he sought, those who were earnest in their wishes, all of them listened to Subaru's words. Seeing this up close, Rem's heart raced. There must be more, so much more to come. Rem, are you okay? Noticing Rem's quickening heartbeat, Subaru, who was riding the Earth Dragon with her, wrapped an arm around her waist and spoke up. You're not saying much, are you feeling worried? Or maybe you're struggling with riding an unfamiliar Earth Dragon. No, that's not it at all. I'm perfectly fine. In response to Subaru's concern, Rem shook her head. The jet-black Earth Dragon that Rem was handling was one of the dragons loaned to them for this operation. Subaru had chosen it, and perhaps as a sign of his keen insight, it was extraordinarily capable. A hero brings together worthy individuals. Rem also wanted to do her best as one of those supporting him. What about you, Subaru-kun? Are you feeling worried? I'm super anxious, and really hesitant, you know? But it's like the die has been cast, or rather, I threw it myself. Subaru scratched his short black hair with a wry smile. At times like these, his ability to be honest and truthful was also one of his virtues. For Rem, who struggled with showing her vulnerable side to others, she knew how much courage this must have taken. To do it so easily, even though he felt how scared he was, Subaru was. What I want to do and what I have to do are the same thing now. So, I feel like I have no choice but to do it. Then, it's the same for Rem. What she wanted to do and what she had to do were aligned. That's why she could give it her all. That was something Rem wholeheartedly agreed with. After all, I believe in you, Subaru-kun. With all her heart, Rem confessed this to Subaru in front of the great tree. There's no need to link her trust with the things she can't say. Rem had already entrusted everything to Subaru. To put it in Subaru's words, the die had long been cast. And Rem was deeply captivated by the outcome. That was enough. That is a lie. I love you.
I know that, geez.
And so, she felt sorry for causing trouble like this, wanting to have Subaru all to herself, even just a little. Rem is fine with being the second wife. If Subaru's virtue was speaking his true feelings without pretense, then she hoped he would forgive her for this playful bout of sincerity. She was surprised at how much she actually expected from him. She wanted him to be a hero. She wanted him to be just a boy. She wanted him to smile. She wanted him to never give up. She wanted him to stay healthy. She wanted him to think of her sometimes. There were so many things she wanted. Because of you, Subaru-kun, Rem has become completely greedy, and knowing that he would forgive her for being like this, Rem was sure that she would continue to depend on him endlessly. So at least, before the giant tree, a large group of people lined up, awaiting the arrival of the witch beast in the dark of night. In the space where even their breathing was stifled, a strange sound reverberated amidst the commotion, anxiety, and tension. Rem closed her eyes. There was nothing to fear. Ironically, the Earth Dragon's will, transmitted through the reins she held, was the same as Rem's. A faint murmur spread as an ominous shape appeared overhead. At that moment, Crush hesitated and took a breath. Everyone. Then, a boy from behind thrust his fist into the air. Nail it. Al-Huma. The gathered mana was converted into power, manifesting magic into the world. The attack shot out overhead, heading straight for the witch beast. At the same time, the Earth Dragon charged forward at full speed. The sensation transmitted through the reins, the unspoken understanding it was simple, just believe in Subaru. That alone was enough. All hands, follow that pair of fools. Behind them, Crush's command rang out, and a great number of people started running. Chasing after Subaru, who led the way, they pursued his back. The hero Rem believed in, Subaru was rising to become a true hero. This was the prologue, the beginning of a story. Immodestly, Rem couldn't suppress her smile, and the battle to defeat the white whale, started by the two of them, commenced.